All right, I guess I need to share my thoughts on the fucking Black Crowes at present. Is that odd? I'm not a huge Black Crowes fan. Sorry, I got the phone. I'm driving to go get my oil change. I'm not a huge Black Crowes fan. I do love Amorica. I like quite a bit of Southern Harmony and some scattered songs here and there. So, first of all, I think something changed in my brain, okay? People, when you work in music and you work on music and audio, people are always like, oh, but does it take all the, I hate this angle, by the way, but I'm not going to hold up the fucking phone. People are like, does it change the way you listen to music? It must totally corrupt your music listening. And I'm like, no, not at all. Like, I rarely am thinking about that stuff when I listen to music. And that was true. It's not true anymore. And it could be because I was like brightening a master this morning for Igor. You're listening probably. And I was like, oh yeah, it was a little dark, I guess. But I tend to mix pretty dark these days. So does Mixer Man. And I'm like, is this an old man thing? And I don't think it is. I think what happened is I don't like brightness anymore. Like, brightness is not appealing to me sonically. Balance is, okay? And inside of a correctly balanced thing, like, you have some elements that are bright and some that aren't. So the thing that I actually wanted to say is that I was listening to music right now, and I listened to, John Carpenter's song from Lost Themes Volume 2. I don't remember the title, but it's beautiful. Sounds great. And I was listening to some other songs like Oasis, Don't Look Back in Anger? That came on. And you know what? Bret Easton Ellis always complains about them being terribly produced. And I don't agree that they're terribly produced, but I think I know what he's talking about, which is that Oasis's sound is just like very like washed out with reverb and pretty sparse in a lot of ways at the same time. It is not very modern, which I guess to me kind of suits Oasis, right? If you think about what Oasis is, which is like a fake modern Beatles, it makes sense to me that it would have been not particularly polished, okay? And at the same time, their sound is polished, but I was listening to it, I was like, all right, like this would never come out now. Like, there would be way more. There's not a lot of bass. Everything's kind of washed out with reverb, very natural sounding. And you know why? Because Oasis is a fucking great band. They're great musicians and great songwriters, and it works. So, and then I was just like, My Bloody Valentine came on, but I was listening very analytically to Don't Look Back in Anger. And then My Bloody Valentine came on, and the song, I think the opening cut from Loveless, and I was listening to it, I was like, oof, like poorly recorded drums, first of all, which is, it's, to be gifted at recording drums is not a common thing. Like, it's to make a drum set sound good. To be a good drum recordist is pretty challenging. I don't even consider myself a good one. But My Bloody Valentine, whoever the fuck recorded the drums on that, not a good job. Which is interesting because I think it was produced by Flood or Alan Moulder, and those guys definitely know how to record drums. But maybe it was the time. But I was listening to it, and it was just, there's no bass. The drums sounded like fucking plastic garbage. And it was so bright that I actually turned it off. Before turning it off, I was like, oh yes, the thing with My Bloody Valentine is it's not the quality. And I am a content over quality guy. But in their case, the content is like, these roaring guitars, a million layers, and it's trippy, and it's the apex of shoegaze in a lot of senses. And so then I had to turn it off, though. I was like, this sound is not working for me. And a Thin Lizzy song came on next. That Woman Is Going to Be the Death of You. That Woman Is Going to Wreck You. And oh my God, it sounded so fucking good. Like, I mean, that 70s era of recording, like, I hate to say golden age, but god damn it. It sounded so good. And Thin Lizzy is also great songwriters and great, great musical talents, particularly Phil Lynott, the singer. But the recording of Thin Lizzy's music is just so beautiful, and it's not particularly like well balanced or like full spectrum or anything. It just sounds so good and warm, and you can, to me, I hear a lot of tubes. And then Black Crowes came on, okay, and it was the song off of Amorica, Cursed Diamond, okay. And I recently have been kind of like had a chip on my shoulder about or I had to stick up my ass about women being obsessed with Chris Robinson, because it doesn't matter if they're a big Black Crowes fan. It doesn't matter if they even really know the Black Crowes. All women love Chris Robinson, including Kate Hudson, obviously. And I came on, I was like, let me listen to Cursed Diamond, which my memories of Amorica are largely like listening to it on a lot of morphine and really enjoying it in the wrong way. Wrong being, Okay, I'm not going to talk about drugs right now. But, so I listened to Cursed Diamond, and I was like, oh my God. Fucking Chris Robinson is a really good singer. Like, that motherfucker is the tits. Like, how many fucking white men have so much soul in their voice, okay? And the band is so fucking good. And when those guitars, like, at first I just hear that guitar amp is so beautiful, and you hear what I'm assuming is Rich Robinson playing that rhythm guitar, and oh my God, he's playing really good. And I'm not somebody who says like, oh, he's playing the guitar really good, but there's nuances that I may be acquainted with that your average non-guitar playing, non-music producing individual is not acquainted with. And so the nuances of his guitar playing were like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing. And then the fucking guitars come in and the drums come in, and I was like, what the fuck? Go listen to Cursed Diamond by Black Crowes, okay? The guitars come in and they sound so fucking good. And what am I, from a technical standpoint, I'm hearing really nice guitars, really nice guitar amps, really good preamps, probably a lot of tubes, but more than anything, it's the guitar player and it's the way it was recorded, right? So let's just say the Black Crowes are a fucking great band. At the end of the day, all that song is like a handful of chords moving around and Chris Robinson being soulful, which, by the way, production-wise, those guitars sound so big and deep, and the fucking drums sound so big. The guitars are probably the loudest thing. And Chris Robinson, you don't even hear him all the time. It's like, oh wait, he kind of dipped back for a second. And this is what we call dynamic range, right? This is dynamics. He's loud, then he's quiet. And when he fucking lets you have it, he really lets you have it. And my God, can he fucking deliver, man. And I was just listening to this and thinking about like a mix I'm working on for my new song, which is called Now You've Got Me. And I was like, wow, it's so different. Like this, if this album came out now, which I hate people say, you could never do that now, right? They love to say it about, what's not Pineapple Express, but the other one. What's the other fucking movie everybody loves to say it about with, Ben Stiller and all this shit? I don't even like that movie. I turned it off. You know which one I'm talking about. People love to say, you could never do that now. You could never do that now. Tropic Thunder. That's the one. I just don't like it. Anyhow, that Black Crowes song and that album, Amorica, like if it came out now, listen to the way like any modern hipster rock band is recorded. Like it would never sound like that. Even the ones who are trying to emulate the old ones have to follow certain rules of like vocals got to be this loud. Basically, you have to ride the vocal the whole time, which if you don't know what ride the vocal means, it means you're perpetually throughout the song having to make micro and sometimes more than micro adjustments so that the vocal remains consistent. And I hate to say it, but it's kind of boring. Unfortunately, though, that's like what's expected from modern music. So you're riding the vocal. Listen to that Cursed Diamond there and not fucking riding the vocal on that. And it sounds beautiful. And the motherfuckers deliver. Look, it's a great band. It's a great song. It's a beautiful production. The fucking lyrics are good. They're leaving you with something. And it's just funny, like when I hear it go to that minor chord section where he's like, oh, no, baby. Sorry for my singing. But when he goes to that section, I was like, I'm anticipating a kind of more modern production where all these like big elements come in to like signify this big minor chord change. And they don't have it. It's just the fucking chords. The band is just moving to those chords and they're doing it. And when they do it, it's so beautiful. The fucking slide guitars are moving around in there. It's just, the blind, it's a soup, okay? It's a soup of music, and it sounds fucking incredible. So there's an album by Blind Melon called Soup, and part of this is just like an analog recording process. Like, I guarantee that album was recorded initially onto fucking like a 2-inch tape or something like that. Like an actual Studer ADAT machine. And no, I'm not caffeinated, and no, I'm not high. I'm just excited. My receptors are open because I'm fucking awake right now. It's early. I got up earlier than I have in the last however long, and I've been a little sick. So, you listen to Blind Melon's Soup, and the production is nothing like Amorica, but it still is beautiful, and it has that rich, thick, soupy analog sound. But Black Crowes, Cursed Diamond, and I'm assuming that whole album, I haven't re-listened to it all the way through in a long time, but what a beautiful production, and how many incredible lessons are in there. Despite the fact that if you're making music now, if you want anybody to listen and care, there certainly are a few rules that you have to abide by. You can decide to not abide by those rules, but the cost will be that people are going to like your song less and consider it less, solely based on the fact that it doesn't sound modern. That's the end of what I had to say about Black Crowes, but oh my God, they're impressive. Chris Robinson's impressive, and the song Cursed Diamond is truly a beautifully impressive recording, and that is a very, very good fucking band. One more thing. When I say content over quality, I mean it's more important that the song is good than the quality of the recording is good. So that's what content over quality is, right? Like, you can have the most amazing song in the world, and if you just have somebody sing it over a piano, it should still come across. Conversely, you can have the worst song in the world, and you can pay $1 million, obviously not that much, but to have it expertly recorded, and it won't matter. It doesn't matter how much money or talent you throw at the problem. If the song isn't good, it doesn't fucking make a difference. But my point, and when I said that something had changed in my mind or my brain, is that I'm now... I will not discredit a song based on the quality of the recording, but it is a pretty big factor. More of a factor than it used to be, I think. Like, I'm more concerned with the content. I'm more concerned with, do I like the song? Is it good? Does it have merit? Do I enjoy it? But it's absolutely a factor, the recording quality of it, because it can really fucking throw me. Oh shit, here's the thing. All right.